poor man.
Shay, why you smiling so hard?
I'm sorry.
What's up, Shay? What's up, Shay?
The other Shay.
The other Shay.
Yeah,
Hey, I got
Stephen A., I feel, after I heard Jerry this morning, I feel even better.
Yes.
Speaking
We got
of,
a lot of stuff to get into today.
yeah, speaking of, we'll hear from Jerry Jones
Can
later.
I ask a question, Shay? Of
course.
I need to know this because people ask
Yeah.
me this all the time when I'm
Yeah.
out. Well, I know you talk about the disgusting, nauseating fan base.
Yes.
Why do you hate us so much in real life?
No. I really like the players. It's the fans and Jerry. If y'all got rid of the fans and Jerry, I'd be y'all biggest supporter.
Well, I ain't gonna say get rid of Jerry. That's my buddy right there. That's my buddy right there. But these
No,
damn fans,
I
they
can't
get on
root
my
for it.
last nerves. I'm not. I mean, they.
Stephen A. After you heard that, man
they say
say,
it's perfume. Go ahead, Shay.
Stephen A. After you heard that man say he threatened that man with his job for asking the questions, I'm out. I'm out, Stephen A.
We'll get to that later. The audience don't know about that yet, Shay. The audience don't know about that yet. Let's wait. Let's tease it because we got some Jets to get into.
Yeah,
right?
we gotta get into
We'll get to them later.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get into what we saw yesterday. We got the S's representative. There's two Shays. Shannon Sharpe, Shay Cornett here with you. Swagoo, Saturday, Stephen A. Let's dive into what happened last night. The AFC East, up for grabs. And you know who grabbed it? The Bills. Stronghold after beating the Jets on Monday Night Football, 23-20. The Bills only scored 3 points in the second half. All they needed to take care of the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, who had a costly fourth quarter interception. He was held to under 300 yards yet again. And so disappointed? Yes. Here's Aaron Rodgers postgame.
This was a golden opportunity. Some games you win in the NFL and some games you give away. This was a giveaway. I mean, we're terrible in the red zone. Missed 2 field goals. Didn't convert on a 2-minute drive. We had plenty of chances. Should have been a 30-plus point game on offense, and this shouldn't even be a conversation. Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm here to win those games, but we got to be on our details. It's little things every single time.
Today, bro.
It is little things every single time. Look, the Jets fired Robert Saleh. They thought that would ignite a little bit of energy here. They're in prime time against a divisional rival, and then here we are again. They have a chance to win in the fourth quarter, and they can't find a way to do it. So, did they give it away last night, Sway?
Yeah, they gave it away. I mean, obviously, we saw the missed field goals. This was a 3-point game. But more importantly, it was an interception thrown at the end of the game, like we saw the previous couple weeks against the Minnesota Vikings from Aaron Rodgers.
That wasn't on Aaron Rodgers, though. Mike Williams? Williams
Hey,
slipping?
Stephen A. Protect your boy when it's your turn.
It ain't your turn.
Protect your boy when it's your turn.
And you're dead wrong.
Because my God, let Dak Prescott throw a damn interception late in the game. He ain't going to say nothing. I don't want to hear it. Let me finish what I'm saying.
That's
3 minutes in.
That's a bad choice of words. You shouldn't have said Dak.
I'm just saying.
I know, but just
let's
go
keep
anywhere else right now.
You always keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. That's your thing.
He done lost his
Today ain't the friggin' day, bro. I'm telling you right now. We in purgatory in Dallas. It ain't the day today. We talking about the Jets.
You below purgatory.
There we go.
Hold on,
Let's
yeah.
go. All right, let's go.
I told you I needed your help.
I'm with you. I'm trying to help you.
He ain't gonna give it to you.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
The Jets had this ultimate plan that inserting Aaron Rodgers would win games like this. These were the games.
Yes.
Right? That when we got the ball in our hand, we got competency at the quarterback position. Maybe we're not even in these situations because Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback. The New York Jets are disjointed. They fired their head coach. They implemented 2 new guys into those roles. Nathaniel Hackett, the guy that was brought over with Aaron Rodgers, was demoted. I don't care how we say it. He was demoted. Todd Downing took over play calling. And still, this Jets football team had those opportunities. Now we go to the field. It's about finishing. I heard Shay 3 weeks ago, not you, Shay Cornett, Shannon Sharpe, tell me that 300 yards and 3 touchdowns from Joe Burrow wasn't enough, right?
Yeah.
So I need everybody to understand that we give no credence to anything outside of the Jets other than them having their quarterback having the ball in his hands for the last possession of the game as the bad man and the league MVP and the guy that was supposed to save the New York Jets franchise out of the abyss that they've been in. 2 times we've seen him have the ball late in the game, and they ended up with no points.
Yep.
So I understand it. It's a lot of things that take place throughout the course of a football game. Yeah, Zerline should have made those kicks. It's a different ball game. But ultimately, you had a chance to win it and you couldn't get it done as the guy that they paying $50 million and thought they was going to change their
Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead, Shannon.
Swagoo, I can't say I disagree with you. I mean, Tyron Smith had a rough night last night, guys. I think we all saw that Saturday. He had a holding penalty that wiped out a touchdown. He gave up constant, consistent pressure all night long. He had Aaron Rodgers looking over his backside, and that was the point. That was the whole purpose of going out and getting a Tyron Smith, because he was supposed to be the guy that secured that border on the backside. And all night long, he gave up pressure. He got a holding penalty, like I said, that wiped out a touchdown. They run a toss sweep, and he hits nothing but the ground. All he has to do is just get a hand on Douglas, and who knows what Breece Hall is able to do. Too many penalties. They're not a very good football team. And yes, Aaron Rodgers, he threw it off his back foot. He underthrew it. You can't have that. You can't let that happen. He was playing well up until that point. But at the end of the day, we only remember the last couple of plays. And the last couple of plays, he didn't get it done. Swagoo, you're absolutely right. Because over the last 3 years, we kept hearing this say, if we had competency at the quarterback position, how good could this Jets team? Oh, they're a Super Bowl contender. They make too many bonehead plays. At the end of the game, Swagoo, Saturday, 72 Clemens, he has one responsibility.
Yep.
He has contained backside. He's trying to do another man's job. He doesn't do his job, and Josh Allen comes out the backside, gets a first down, and the ball game is over. It's one thing after another. Okay, we play good in one area, and then we play bad in another area. We fix that, and then something happens on the other side. It's just too many mistakes by the Jets, and I don't really think they're a really good football team. They're not nearly as good.
When people talk about giving away games in the NFL, let me just say this. I played for a Hall of Fame coach in Tony Dungy, and he used to say more games are lost in the NFL than they are won. And if you continue to find yourself on the side of giving games away, it's because things that you do self-destructive that cost you games. Again, everybody keeps saying the same thing. You gave a Hall of Fame quarterback the ball with a chance to win the game, and in these last two games, both have ended in interceptions. Both balls, I don't care what, overthrown, underthrown, whatever it is, wrong route, right route, we don't know because we get. But I'm gonna tell you this: he looked wide open and the ball fluttered and came down. The one before, Gilly read it like he was the receiver. But let's talk about this: two missed field goals.
Hold on.
Oh.
Let's interrupt this really quick because we do have some breaking news to get to that does pertain to the Jets. The Jets and the Raiders are working out a deal to acquire Davante Adams. So Davante Adams would come over and meet his former teammate and Aaron Rodgers, join the Jets, help him out, and leave the Raiders. And so I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jeff Saturday, but obviously this news is very crucial to the conversation we're having here about the Jets, who have now lost 3 games.
Sergeant Friday, the floor is yours. Go.
I think it's a massive pickup for the Jets, especially when you see, at least last night, they showed some semblance of an offense and getting the ball to Breece Hall and getting the ball to Garrett Wilson and allowing these young stars to look like stars. Now you bring in Davante Adams that you can put on the opposite side of Garrett Wilson with Lazard and Conklin, Breece Hall, Allen. You have a plethora of weapons at your disposal if you're Aaron Rodgers. It's just another piece that we've seen Aaron Rodgers get. Now he has to do the getting. He's got to you get quarterbacks like this to win 4 to 6 games for you a season. He's got to go do his part because the last 2 weeks he's had opportunities and they have failed at these opportunities. So whether it's miscommunication, Davante Adams is going to walk in the room and he's going to have to be that guy that was 4 years ago or 3 years ago with Green Bay. Listen, it's a massive pickup. I want to see it in action.
4 interceptions over the last 2 games. Ties a career high for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to sit up here and let him off the hook.
No chance.
The passes have been underthrown. We get all of that. Interceptions, pick 6 against the Vikings. Pick yesterday. 7 of the points that you got last night was on the Hail Mary. We ain't counting that. We understand this, okay? But the fact of the matter is they win that game if your damn field goal kicker makes his 2 field goals. It's all you do. I don't care about the weather conditions. I don't care about the wind, the inclement weather. Unless there's a blizzard and we got hurricane winds and there's nothing you can do. It's all you do. You can't miss a 32-yard field goal, 43-yard. You just can't do that. You can't do that. Having said all of that, this is the bottom line in all seriousness. I've always said he is a bad man. You know how I felt about this 4-time league MVP and stuff like that. he has been anything but this year.
Right.
There is no excuse for it. But here's the indictment on him. It's not just his play. It's that offseason that Shannon keeps bringing up where you had the mandatory training camp and you wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying? It's the time that you missed. It's the tone that you set. Your fixation on the meticulous details and ironing that stuff out that we've seen and revered about the great ones, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's of the world, and others, we haven't seen from Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
And so because we haven't seen that, y'all played the game, not me. I defer to y'all. Y'all bring that up. I'm going to take that with the seriousness that it deserves.
Yeah.
What I come to the defense of with him is his talent. I believe him in terms of throwing the football, even right now, can be that dude that can be elite. Just throwing the football. Understand his mobility may have been compromised to some degree because of the Achilles tear from last season.
Sure.
But when I see this man fling the football, when I see some of the passes, when I saw a guy get popped yesterday, hit him right in his chest, but he got popped because Buffalo was all over them and what have you. There were 2 or 3 times where he put it right on target and cats couldn't hold on to the football. We got to take those things into account too. And now that you look at a Davante Adams, and you know what he can bring to the table, and you know what Garrett Wilson can bring to the table. And you saw Breece Hall remind us what he could bring to the table when you give him the ball or run the football. Yet again, it's the latest excuse that gets to be eradicated for Aaron Rodgers. You got to show up and get it done. All I'm trying to say is that the die has not been cast. The fat lady ain't singing yet.
No, for sure.
There's still a chance, particularly with you acquiring Davante Adams. And props to Woody Johnson. He comes in.
Yeah.
Clearly Salah wasn't his hire. You know, he was the ambassador to the United Kingdom and what have you. Let his brother hire Salah. Okay, you get rid of Salah. You call Aaron Rodgers and you like, yo, what we need to do. You call Hassan Reddick's people and say, yo, come on in the camp. Let's find a way to get you up in here. Clearly, Woody Johnson is back on the scene, and he's saying, the hell with it. We ain't going to have any excuses.
He's going all
We're
in.
going for it.
Yeah.
He's going all in,
Yeah.
and that minimizes even more excuses that Aaron Rodgers could have.
Right, and so they're doing it with the quickness. Let's give an update here in terms of compensation, what the Raiders would give up to the Jets in order to get Davante Adams. So it says, this is according to our own Adam Schefter, the trade for Davante Adams is expected to get finalized today. It would be for a conditional 3rd-round pick that can go to a 2nd-round pick, I would assume, with a snap count or something like that. And so the Davante Adams, we would assume, would be able to join the Jets as soon as, tomorrow, as long as he clears all of his physicals and whatnot. And so, Shannon, I'll let you jump in on this. The Jets adding Davante Adams means what compared to the first thing you said today on this show?
Well, unless they block better, unless they protect Aaron Rodgers better, he do a better job of protecting the football. You're talking about a quarterback that did the best job in the history of the NFL of protecting the football. When you look at his touchdown to interception ratio and the amount of times he's thrown the football, no quarterback in the history of the game has protected the football better than Aaron Rodgers. So what we're seeing is not something that we're accustomed to seeing, is a guy that protects the football, all of a sudden giving it away. 3 against Minnesota. He had 1 costly one last night. He threw the ball up his back foot. It fluttered up there in the air, and it got picked off. That was a hell of a play by Taron Johnson. Let's give him some play because that ball could have easily hit the ground, but he did a great job of getting his hands up under it and coming down with the interception. But unless they do a better job of protecting Aaron, unless he does a better job of protecting the football, they're not going anywhere. I've always been leery of this guy Saturday, and Swagoo, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. When they said, okay, if we get one person, let's just say a quarterback, you're assuming that the defense is going to be just as good now as it was when you had Zach Wilson, or you had Flacco, you had Mike White, all these other guys. When I look at this defense, Swagoo,
They're not.
They don't look the same. Are they good? Yeah, but they don't look as dominating, as suffocating as they have in years past.
I'll agree with that. I will say this, though. Last night, the Bills started fast, but they held them to 3 points, and it was the last 6 minutes that they got the final 2 points. So the defense can amp it up, and they have given them opportunities in the last 3 weeks to win games. So without saying, they are not as dominant as maybe we expected, but they are still putting Aaron Rodgers in positions to win, which is a big deal. Tyron Smith had a bad day yesterday. I'm gonna say he didn't play well, but this offensive line, when you get another guy like Davante Adams and your passing games becomes more rhythmic, I do think that will benefit Aaron Rodgers. And let me say this. The conversation between Woody Johnson and Aaron Rodgers, I'm assuming went something like this on Monday. I'm all in. What do I got to do to get this thing done? I'm going to fire the coach, whatever. Okay, he doesn't say it, he does. I don't know. Who cares? But he fires the coach. He's going to bring in a new coach. He's going to change offensive coordinators, which we know that Saleh wasn't able to do. And now we're going to go get Davante Adams. We're going to go all in on this thing. What are your expectations from now on? It's win now or don't win at all. And so Woody Johnson gets it, Aaron Rodgers gets him. And it's not just, because I want to say this too, it's not just the Tom Brady and the Peyton Mannings of the world that went on to new programs. Matt Stafford did the same thing. He leaves Detroit, goes to the Rams, wins the Super Bowl. No, hold on.
But Sean McVay was there.
Yeah,
I mean, that matters.
Okay. Offensively, but you have a defense where all you said was Aaron is the offense. He's been his own offensive coordinator. Let me tell you, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, they don't need a whole lot of coordinating. Okay, I'm just going to be real with you. Right. Them dudes are on. Aaron Rodgers probably doesn't need a ton of coordinating. If this is on him. If this is on him. So now you've got all pieces and parts. This offensive line will be good enough to buy him enough time if they continue to use Breece Hall the way they used him last night and Allen and give some of those things. But the drops, I can guarantee you, the drops by these receivers, I think they have 14 drops, some kind of crazy number. That was what Woody Johnson wanted to know from Aaron Rodgers. The raps from Williams, he's not being in the right place. I can guarantee you who won't be making won't be making the field. Lazard will be on that field. Davante will be on that field. Wilson will be on that field. There's guys who'll get shuffled. You know what I mean? But I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
I got it. It comes down to but this is the point. It comes down to personnel. You're Aaron Rodgers. If I got Breece Hall, if I got Davante Adams, if I got Garrett Wilson, all right, and I got a familiar target in Lazard, okay, and Williams is actually the drop-off.
That's exactly right.
It's all on you. Mm-hmm. It's all on you at that particular moment in time, and we understand that.
And we know how he likes to push receivers aside, especially when they make
It's actually been on him.
100%.
But go ahead.
It has.
Let's bring in an Adam Schefter to get a little more clarity here on this breaking news in terms of the Raiders dealing to the Jets, Davante Adams. Shefty, do you hear me? Are you with us? Tell us how this deal came to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yep.
Trying to get straightened up here. Yep.
All right, so tell me how.
You good, man. You good, Evan. You good, Shefty.
Tell us how we got here with Davante Adams.
Well, this has been going on for quite some time here, and obviously the Jets have been talking to the Raiders, and the Raiders have been adamant that they get a second-round draft pick, which they weren't getting back in return. And after the Jets lost last night, obviously conversations continued on to where the two sides came to essentially an agreement that's going to get finalized later today. It's not official, but it will be because Davante Adams still will have to pass a physical. There still is the hamstring issue going on right now. The Raiders, though, are not going to pay any of his salary, and in return, they're going to get that conditional third-round draft pick that becomes a second-round draft pick based on performance. We'll see what that turns out to be in terms of the condition. I'm trying to find that out right now. But Davante Adams has been coming to the Jets here. And this is something that I think Aaron Rodgers has been working on for a long time. He's been recruiting Davante Adams behind the scenes. This was the place that Davante Adams wanted to go to, what he preferred. And in the end, he gets what he wanted. His contract next year is not guaranteed. And so the Raiders knew that they were going to have to lose him at some point in time. So before they lose him, they get more ammunition. They want to get as much ammunition as they can to have the ability to move up in the draft for a quarterback in 2025. The Jets wanted to do something to jumpstart their season, get Aaron Rodgers his favorite weapon. And so they agree to that deal that is expected to get finalized later today.
Adam Schefter, refresh our audience memory as to why Davante Adams departed from Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers to begin with. We know he ended up going to Vegas and what have you.
Yeah.
But just refresh our memory of what their relationship was like and why he ended up separating from Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers and he were in Green Bay to begin with.
It's a great question, Stephen A. And I think that the two have always had a great relationship. They've always been close. But I also think that Davante wanted to be paid, which he was in Las Vegas. I think he wanted to be the man and not be an Aaron shadow, which he was in Green Bay. And he went out to Las Vegas. And sometimes I'm going to guess that when you get somewhere, you realize what you have when it's gone. And in this particular case, I think Davante Adams recognized, he knew it. I mean, they were close. Don't get me wrong, but like, boy, I didn't realize how good it was playing with Aaron Rodgers. And the two remained in contact. You saw the affection that existed between the two of them. Aaron's been recruiting him behind the scenes for over a year. You remember the comments he made at the golf tournament this summer saying that basically he connected to the Jets to Davante Adams. And now the two sides get an agreement done to where Davante Adams is going to be winding up playing with Aaron Rodgers again in New York with the Jets as they attempt to save their season.